And so what can we do to increase NAD?
Well, we know you can exercise and you can be hungry. Okay? That's why those things work, we think. That's what in my book is, it's not just how to live, but why it works, which is important because it helps you tweak your own body. Other ways to raise NAD would be, so metformin will raise NAD. Take a little step back. There are 3 main categories of longevity genes. There's the sirtuins that I work on. There are 7 of those. One that's usually put in the middle called AMPK or AMP kinase, which senses energy in the cell. Low energy, it turns on, which is good. And then the third one senses amino acids. And if you have a lot of branched chain amino acids, which are found a lot in meat, it will not be as helpful. It's one of the reasons why I like to sometimes keep my amino acid intake low to try and get that pathway going. That's the pathway that'll stimulate that autophagy that we talked about earlier. So NAD and all of these pathways are talking to each other. That's my point. And we used to fight as scientists over whose pathway was more important. It was pathetic. Sirtuins are the best. No, mTOR is the best. No, we don't. Turns out, if you tweak mTOR, you'll affect the other 2, or vice versa. So you can, if you tweak the others, NAD will go up, and if you tweak NAD, the others will go. But what we don't understand, which is a little confusing, especially for the public and also scientists, is what's the best way to tweak those 3 main things? In what order, when, how? We don't know that yet. We've just figured out that they talk to each other, but the optimum isn't known. And what's interesting is about people like myself and thousands of other people now are trying out their various versions of diets and exercise, when to eat, what to eat, to try and optimize that longevity pathway. And together we're figuring this out, and clinical trials are underway, but in a clinical trial, you can only change one thing at a time.
Right.
And they cost about $15 million to complete. So it's going to take the rest of our lives to figure this out the traditional way, or we can try a few things and see what we can learn, which is what I've done in parallel.